Bang.
Yo, Yannick, what go on?
Big up Amari with there, you know.
As a matter of fact, before we even start, I will just say this. Really, really rate and respect you. You see me?
Thank you.
Been from afar, been admiring your work and your posture in the industry as well. So every time would hail each other either online or in person, kind of like, oh, yo, Yannick, no, my name is G. But then because as a Jamaican, I have the no more than me.
Yeah, you're balling.
I'm kind of always keep the composure, you see me? So,
Yeah.
you know. But tell me, because I am very interested to know.
Sure.
And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are interested to know who is Yannick Reid.
Boy, yo, you know, say, Yannick Reid, how I say, I'm a fun-loving guy. You know, I like to have a good time. And creativity is one of the mediums through which I have a good time. You know, we have good times in other ways, you know, go beach, like for bun game, like for watch TV, you know what I mean? Really youth. But we just try to incorporate all our interests into like one funnel and kind of make it happen. So with creativity now, what it is that we're so passionate about what we do creatively is that we just try to hold ourselves to a standard that you know, is comparable internationally.
Yeah.
So it don't mean say when we are doing work we're miserable, you know. But it means say, you know, we try to develop a habit of excellence and we're exposed to a lot of things. You know what I mean? It's not like we're there and say, yo, we have to raise the bar, but we're just exposed to a lot of things. And the benefit of being exposed to a lot of things and being influenced by a lot of things is that you get to pull on things that maybe not the average person is seeing. So it may not be that I'm more creative than you or anybody else, but it might be that we might watch a really weird movie here, we might read a really strange book, or, you know what I mean, we might go to a really strange place and we say, you know what? Something from this can jump in at some visuals. So that's what I would have said. So we're really like, you know, we incorporate everything into what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. If you're to tell your friends, because I know that sometimes I struggle with this or I struggle with this too, but if you're to tell your friends, you know, what do you do? If you're to describe to them, to somebody who's not in the industry, who doesn't know you at all, or your close friends that you're trying to just make them like, you know that when you come back from come back from the summer holiday, the teacher say, you know, describe what did you do? Describe to the people then what do you do? What does Yannick Reid do?
You know, what I actually tell people is I like to tell people I'm a professional button presser. I tell people that people will be like, oh, yo, what you done? I'm just like, yo, bro, I press buttons. It might be on a silver box, it might be on a black box, but I look at something and I press a button.
Right.
But in like all seriousness, I like to probably start off, I see myself not necessarily as a photographer first, but I feel like a lot of my creativity stems out of photography first and works out from there. So I think like the easiest thing to tell people is I'm a photographer. I think more accurately is a creative director, but I still think even though the term creative director is thrown around a lot, I still don't feel like people have a very good grasp of what a creative director is. I can say, yo, I'm a creative director, and somebody will still need a little bit more work. So it's easier to say photographer. But if I was to describe here on the podcast, you know, why I say I'm a creative director is what I like about the term creative director is that there is a fluidity to it in terms of sometimes creative directors are the doers and sometimes they are the directors. And I kind of do a bit of both. Whereas I'm a multidisciplinary artist in terms of I use photography, I use film, I use graphic design, and I use illustration. And these skills, or what makes me to a creative director to me is my understanding of these skills is not as always that I am the one doing them, but I have the ability to speak the creative language to other creatives to help to execute projects. So that to me, I feel like encapsulates it properly. So it's not all the time on a project I might be doing the photography, but I can speak to a photographer and be like, yo, this is what the client are trying to achieve, and the photographer will be like, yo, I'm so glad that you can explain it. So, And sometimes I might be the photographer, just directing myself or a team.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I describe it.
Okay, cool. What would you started off with saying that photography first. So I'm going to assume that's where that's where you started out in the industry, where you started off with just photography. Where would you say got you to the point of going into photography? Like why coming into creative industry? Why not become a lawyer? Like on our previous episode we had on another episode we have Sean Castle. Who is our lawyer. Check out the Coin Inside podcast. Make sure you check out that episode. Shameless plug. Like, why not become another profession? Why not do something else? What brought you to photography?
Well, first of all, I don't like school. First of all,
Really?
so if I'm being really honest, not to discourage anybody from school, it's just that school is not a format that I love. You get me? And I think that also translates to working in an office.
Yeah.
I'm not the most structured person. I'll be honest about that. So that is how that first weave into my personality. And how I got into photography is that my dad is a photographer, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So my dad is a photographer. Both of my parents are self-employed entrepreneurial creatives. So I never ever really was aware of it, but I grew up in that kind of environment where both my parents own their businesses and were making their own income by their own means. So I love photography for as long as I could remember. I love visuals. And, just being around my father and just being around the camera, I just always wanted to do photo and video. So it felt like a natural progression. If I'm being honest, I actually wanted to be a vet.
Really?
And then, I actually wanted to be a vet. I still wanted to be but I wanted to be like a veterinary photographer. So I wanted to photograph animals.
Yeah.
And then I heard that I had to do more school. And it was a very easy decision at that moment. I was just like, I'm not going Trinidad to the 4 more years at this. Let's just do art. And it was just really easy because I was already kind of teaching myself in high school. So I was learning photography under my dad, and I was teaching myself graphic design at the time, and I was merging them together to kind of practice my craft. And I was just like, I'd love to do this full time. So I had no idea how I was gonna do it, but I knew that there were people out there doing it, so it didn't really seem far-fetched, to be honest. Yeah.
That exposure is actually really good because when I was in high school, I didn't have much of an exposure to the career of photography. I knew that there were photographers. They see them about the place. And somebody has to be behind the camera that is, that you're watching on TV.
Yeah.
But in terms of being exposed to actual professionals,
They're not very visible.
Not very visible, especially black people.
Yeah.
And then Caribbean people are that. They're,
True.
The pool is small.
Yeah.
So in high school, my friend had a camera, and she was a part of the photography club at school there. But I wasn't. I was just like, let me just stick to my sport. But I loved picking up her camera and just taking a few shots to the point where some of those photos that I took ended up in like the school magazine.
Oh, cool.
I was like, all right.
So you were taking photos not even on your own machine. You were just kind of developing on somebody else's.
It was more like I just had an eye. As my
Is that person a photographer now?
That person actually, she has her master's in some form of media.
Okay, all right, great.
She went to Georgia Tech.
Okay, great.
Chelsea, big up yourself anyway, you're there.
Yeah.
She brilliant artist. She's
Nice.
she's essentially combining art and computer science.
Nice.
And she's had her work displayed at Coachella actually.
Wicked.
So she's now studying how to combine movement and digital art.
That's so crazy. I'm glad that she's actually in the field. Because if you told me like she was just like, all right, she's a security, I'm just like, Jano. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
She's gone full. She had three interests: art, science, computer science, and dance. And to see her be able to just watch her journey. Actually, I should call her and have her on the pod. But to watch her journey and how she's actually like manifested all of what she's doing now. It's just
Yeah.
like, yo, that's really cool. But at the time when I was just taking those photos for as a hobby, and I enjoyed being behind the camera, I never thought of it as a
Career.
career.
Yeah.
It wasn't literally until COVID where, and
Really?
this is like 10 years after. It wasn't until COVID where I was like, my mentor who taught me film, he was like, yo, you want to come on set and be a gaffer? I'm like, I don't know what that is, but all right,
Sure.
never have no work, let me just forward. And
Yeah.
since then I got into the industry and just developed skills from there. What would you say was like your first experience with like a camera, and how you shifted from just learning into actual, like what was like that first serious job that you can say to yourself, yeah man, I'm a photographer?
So my dad would carry me on projects with him. So my dad does PR photography, which was not a field I really had liked so much, but I learned to kind of work with it because I'm not really the type to just approach a person randomly and take their photo. It's not really, that kind of give me a little anxiety.
Same.
But I think when it really started to click was he had to cover some fest back in the day. And that was like the first time I was like, there is a time where he would be carrying me on the job, and it's kind of like on the job, but it's like I'm not there. Him just kind of pulling me through it.
Yeah.
And then there is now some fest where him not have to tell me nothing, like I'm glued to the stage. He's just like, oh, by the way, this, that, and I'm just like, yeah man, may I do this? So I was doing some fest from I was maybe like 14.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, really young. So like I got to see like Lil Wayne, I got to see Kerry Hilson, I got to see Miguel, and I think just concert photography was really the first love that I had that kind of really inspired me to actually refine. So before you're kind of just taking and you're just like, all right, whatever. My dad would sit me down and be like, let's review these images, and I'm like, whatever. But like with the concert photography, I was like, yo, what do you think about this, yo? So that is where I saw the spark really kind of start, really. In terms of me identifying as a photographer, that's a really good question. The first time I really felt like a photographer, I would want to say it at some point it was maybe a Sumfest, having like a Nikon D300 and a 80 to 200 is my dad's gear.
Yeah.
But, just really kind of getting into the composition of my shots. I'm shooting at the same time as some other goats in the industry like Adrian Creary, you know what I mean? Roy Sweetland and them things. So being able to kind of work alongside those people and see their work, especially Adrian, is just like me. I say, all right, we need to get better. My shutter speed. It's like just seeing it and comparing it. It was like at that moment, unconsciously, I am critiquing my own work. And like me, I say, yo, we need to go back and do better and stuff like that. So I would say that is really at the point where I say I started to identify as that.
Nice. Funny you mentioned that. I would say, for me, that would be that similar experience would have been like Lost in Time.
Oh, nice. That's crazy.
Where me and the guys we're at the show, and we're just standing in the pit, and we're just looking around, and we're seeing everybody, and we look up and we see you to the side of the stage, and we're like, yo,
that's crazy.
We're doing this,
That's crazy.
We're doing this.
That's awesome.
Then we looked at the cameras that we're having, and we're like, yo, we need to do better. And not just like we want the better gear, but also like learning how to do the different styles.
Okay.
You have like an archer who is out there doing the thing, and we're just constantly just consuming the different styles that are around us. And we realize, okay, so you use that particular filter. All right, maybe I need to get into that.
Try it out.
Try it out for myself, kind of vibe. What would you say is something that really shaped your style? I know you said that you started to teach yourself graphic design and you've started to implement that into your photography, how has graphic design helped with your photography, and how has whatever else helped to shape your style that you have now or at the time? Because
Okay.
I know our style can change over time.
Oh yeah, of course. So what I would say in terms of influence is so one of the persons that I looked at a lot when I was starting out was Jonathan Mannion. He's a great example of like a style reference because I still do have a passion for photography, for video, as well as music. And he has shot so many iconic album covers, especially in hip hop, which is a genre that I have a big love for.
Yeah.
You know, like just many icons. Snoop Dogg, he shot Miss Education of Lauryn Hill album cover. Him shoot couple Buju album cover. Him shoot SZA The Real Thing. So it's not even just
Wow.
hip hop. Yeah, man. Him have a extremely illustrious, and I just, there's just something about how he presented the talent as just making them feel just larger than life.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm shooting, there's just something that he had about his eye that instantly made people look very iconic. And since I loved music, and fun fact for this podcast, I used to be a musician.
Really?
Yes. So you asked me about my handle. So if everybody wants a fun fact, my handle is actually my old rap name. So yeah, I don't tell
Got
many
you.
people that, but I just feel like that's
actually a really interesting fun fact.
that's a fun fact. So yeah, man, SOL was the group, and my rap name was the therapist. So that's actually a good reason why I asked the question. So I used to do all the photography and graphic design for that
the
group. So it was like multiple artists, and so we do like the photography, the album cover. I love graphic design as well. So we had projects that had front, back, fold out booklet, digital booklet. So when you're downloading the stuff, you get like a whole booklet. So that was like a good learning experience of how I basically learned to do graphic design, tie it into music, understand how for the packaging design when nobody's asking you to do packaging design.
Right.
So I'd say Jonathan Mannion was a big influence in terms of raising the profile of photography. I want to be honest, a lot of peers, that I had were just excellent photographers. And it's like I pull different things, like Adrian's work was really clean. I work alongside Nikki Kane. She's an absolute genius.
Love her.
She
Love her
just
work.
knows how to her work just has this warmth to it. Really good with lighting. I had the pleasure of just working alongside Nikki Kane for years. Jick Rubin now, his work has a wonderful sharpness to it. He's very good at resolving detail. Even though he shoot a lot of black and white, his color is amazing as well. Me and him don't talk like one time before, but me always I gotta give credit where credit is due. The talent that is Pharaoh. You know what I mean? I remember him was shooting on a D750, and he used to shoot on a 85 millimeter, and just the way he used to resolve portraits.
Yeah.
He was one of the photographers that made me say, no, sir, I really need to go do my homeworks.
Yeah.
Extremely talented. So those are some people. Also Randy Richards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many people around me. I'll be honest in terms of just looking at them work inspire me. It inspired me to keep the standard high. As well as to just influence my own style. So my own style in terms of just, I always want to make someone feel like the hero in the photos.
Got you.
That's what I love to do. So I like, and it bleeds into me like in video as well. So I really love video and cinema. So it's almost like when I take a photo, I want it to feel like a still from a video.
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of thinking in those two minds, and I see that people kind of respond to that feeling. So that's kind of what influenced my style a lot.
Got you.
Quick shout out to the folks at iPrint Jamaica. They're the ones behind the bold, eye-catching billboards you've been seeing across the island for the pod. They're all about trust, service, and impact, and they help brands show up exactly where it matters. If you're ready to level up your next campaign, just click the link in our description or head on to iPrintgroupjamaica.com coinsights.com and let their team bring your vision to life.
The Coin Insights podcast is produced by Coin Digital, our in-house team of creatives, strategists, and storytellers. We don't just create content, we build brand ecosystems, podcasts, and campaigns that drive real engagement. If you want to produce something like this, or better, tap the link in the description to book a discovery call, and let's build something together.
This episode is brought to you by Rock Hotel Kingston, the heartbeat of downtown. Whether you're here for business, creativity, or just the view, Rock gives you the space to relax, recharge, and create. Think rooftop energy, city culture, and unmatched vibes. Ready to experience it for yourself? Book your next getaway online.
Take a second to subscribe and share this episode with someone who's ready to level up. It helps more than you know and lets the algorithm know that these conversations matter to you.
All right. So, what would you say is the real work behind getting seen and staying booked as a creative in Jamaica?
I've been saying it recently. It's funny that you asked that because that's something I have to keep reminding myself. I would say conversations convert. You know what I mean? A lot of people do think it's like posting, which is very important because that's like the modern day billboard. That is how you keep people top of mind.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to be top of mind, but there's always a point where, you know, people are just on the precipice of reaching out to you, just on the precipice of thinking that they want to book it. They're not really sure. But a lot of times, and a lot of the most impactful opportunities that I've gotten is as a result of conversations. And it also always reminds me that you know, creativity is about people. You know, it's a people-driven business, and you can't forget the element of people in the business. So it's important to talk to people, show interest in people, even if it's not about a conversation about, what are you working on now?
Yeah.
But it is just taking interest in people because we solve problems, you know, in different ways. And sometimes people don't even know the problems that they have. But it is sometimes in talking to them,
You
and
identify that yourself.
Yeah, you hear the problem, and then you say, you know, I feel like I can help you, or I feel like I'd love to be a part of that project, or stuff like that. And those are the things that help people to feel comfortable, to feel like you're approachable. So I think the posting and doing the work is like your resume. It is what helps people to understand that you're capable and build a sort of rapport. But it is the conversations that move people over from, because the disadvantage of being popular is people automatically think I'm expensive or I'm not interested in what they're doing or working with them.
Right.
So I have to beat that. I have to work against that misconception.
Right.
So it is a lot of conversations with people who be like, oh, him cool, or oh, him can talk to, or oh, this, that. So a lot of times it's just remembering to have conversations with people, even if there's no agenda behind it. It's really important to have conversations, learn to have interest in people, and sometimes it might not be the person you're talking to, but the person you're talking to may have such a great experience that they recommend you for something else. So it's always to remember that conversations convert.
That's good. That's good. So that you touched on it. I want to get into it now.
Sure.
Yannick, you know. Shoot him capture all of these big people. Boy, most expensive. How long did it take you to start charging what you're worth? And what made that mind shift possible? Because I know, say, starting off, there's a certain price point that I didn't think that I could charge. You get me? Until like one day somebody just offered this, and I was like, oh, you mean you'd pay me $50,000 just for this small thing? All right, if you're willing to do that, there might be somebody else too. That's willing to do that. Walk me through what that's been like for you, where the going into the business side of things.
Yeah.
You know, how did you start charging what you're, because that's probably one of the biggest topics when it comes on to creatives and business.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Not knowing what to charge, and how to charge.
Well, I'll just start off this sentence with I'm 32. You get me? So I'm a little bit older. You get me? And I said that to say that early out it was challenging. So if anybody is having challenges with pricing right now, nobody feel say you're alone or anything like that. I'll be honest, there's many a time where I get burned in a lot of early jobs and stuff like that. Do things, work, don't talk about any price before. Work, send off, clients have it, you work out the price, them say, oh no, I'm not gonna do that, me just pay you that. So I'll be real, there's many a situation where me get burned. And you know, them say what wisdom doesn't teach, rock bottom will. You know? And there's a lot of hard lessons that I had to learn. So instead of trying to be motivated by okay, I want to charge this, I was more being motivated by the awful feeling of putting your all into the work and being burned after. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like you want to say trauma. But so you know, it's like a lot of times, okay, I would work on this thing for 5 hours, and then you say, all right, Yannick, what did you want for the work that you did? You know what I mean? And you ask yourself, and then you try something, and then you try, you know, price up front, you learn about deposits. And I mean, it was kind of hard because there wasn't as much resources at the time. There was no Chris Doe online breaking things down for people. The only thing I remember, I don't remember who said it, I think it was Andrew Kramer from Video Copilot. OGs will know. I think he was just like, it's just like, guys, at the bare minimum, an hour of your time should at least be worth like $100 US. You know what I mean? And I was just like, all right, that sounds like a decent place to kind of start. And being real, it don't always live there. You know, because one thing we have to remember living in Jamaica, developing economy, you know what I mean, is that, you know, things are not fixed. And if you're rigid about how you approach your business, you'll get priced out, you'll get kicked out. So you have to understand how to be flexible. So, you know, I kind of started out at the 100 US per hour kind of thing. I tell some people that you kind of see some people ghost you, some people work with it. So it's like you kind of slowly start to realize like a kind of mid-ground of things that kind of work and kind of things that don't work. But you also start to realize the people who are willing to accept the prices that you are gonna give. You get me? Like after being burned and doing certain things, you kind of start to realize who is a joker and who is serious. So it's like it's a whole mental system. You get me? Cause I can't just come to somebody and tell them 1,000 US or whatever. It's different people and different budgets, and people are trying to achieve different things. But I think a key thing, just to properly answer your question, is a confidence in the competence of the work that I'm doing. You know, I think that's like a really important thing. You'll be really nervous about charging what you're worth if you don't feel really comfortable in your competence. So there's a point where I reach where it's just like, I don't know what I'm doing in life, but you know what I mean? We've done things a certain amount of time where if somebody say, hey, a 2-hour portrait session, but no, say me can do it. You know what I mean? It's not a question of if I can do it. Maybe it might be like, all right, am I going to hit this out the park? But you know you can do it. So that is not a factor we're coming in your mind. So from you have that now, somebody link you for something, you know, say from you tell them a price, you know, say, all right, me know, say me nah dig out nobody eye. You see me? And some people, even when your price is good, they can't afford it, you don't take it personal. So that confidence in your competence allows you to know, say, if somebody can afford what you're doing, or can't afford what you're doing, it is not a question of your value necessarily. It's just more like a question of if they can afford it.
Yeah.
So that is like a really good thing to kind of get out of the way, because that will mess with your mind, because it is your self-worth that you're attaching to a financial dollar.
Right.
So from me can kind of pass that, and that's what I kind of passed. I realized that it's not personal. It's really just like a business
Just
thing.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about your identity, not attaching your identity to the financial worth, and that's very important.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard because, like you said, living in a basically in a third world country,
It's not easy.
It's not easy,
Yeah.
especially if you're starting out. You're just coming into the industry. It's been a few years, maybe.
Yeah.
You feel like by now you should be able to have a stable.
No.
You know, but you know,
That'd be nice.
sometimes you just get that one big project at the start of the year or in the middle of the year, and you just have to go and hold it and just find out one little something here and there.
For sure.
But I want to talk about another big thing, thing in the creative industry, which affects business as well.
True.
Which is burnout.
Yeah.
And I personally think that we as creatives, we attach too much of our identity to our craft.
Yeah.
And when we are not able to create, when we do have those moments, those low moments of not being able to create anything, it affects our business in a way that it just keeps us in that low moment. You know, because if bills not pay, you not can be able to think freely and creatively.
For sure.
And if you're not thinking freely and creatively, the bills can't get paid.
Feedback loop, yeah.
You know, so what's your experience been like with burnout, and how you advise people in terms of, you know, seeing themselves out of it?
Yeah, that's a really great question, because it's really important, because burnout, I think, is a overall health issue.
Yeah.
And it's also a mental health issue. So I think it's important to talk about it, because you know what I mean, creativity, bro, especially photography, videography and stuff like that, you're using your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's really important to take care of your body, because if something happens to it, it may legitimately affect your livelihood.
Yeah.
So in terms of burnout, I struggled with it, because, you know, there was a period where my self-worth was attached to productivity and work. You get me? I really had a hard time learning to disconnect from work and relaxing and stuff like that. And it had very real consequences. You see me? It even negatively affected, like, family relationships, romantic relationships, because I just didn't know how to disengage.
And you know, that's funny, because people say that they want to leave a 9 to 5 and become a creative.
No, sir.
Not realizing that the 9 to 5, at least you can say, all right, work done, I'm gone from work.
You go 9 to 5, you do the boss work,
and
5 o'clock come, you lift up and you go your yard. And if boss call you at 7 o'clock, and you can just pretend, say, boy, boss, I never see me that sleep. You see me? And you just know,
you
say
know,
you're
not
going to
clocking
fix at the end of the month. But
right.
yeah, just like how you say it, is like, you know, it's just like, it felt like what you earned at the end of the month was so dependent on your level of productivity and efficiency. So it just felt like I had to always be on. And this is not when we had such a great understanding of even what burnout was, till I was listening to our podcast and kind of learned about it. And what I kind of really saw is that, or I had to learn, is that you kind of have to, when people say you're not a robot, it's easy to hear, but it's like, I think someone explained this, like, you know, your body and your mind is almost like a muscle.
Yeah.
You get me? And you wouldn't just get up one day and say, all right, I'm going to just do 100 push-ups and just do it. You have to gradually do it over time, and you have to take rest, and there's times where, you know what I mean, you go and you stop, and you go and you stop. Breaking it down for me in that way helped me to understand that productivity is not a 100 everyday thing, because the rest is just as important for when you circle back to have like a fresh mind. I saw that in myself, because I was waking up and work and just sitting at my desk and just working all the way till like hours in the night, acting like I could have been roaming the day, get up and do the next thing. And then I just realized the diminishing returns over a period of time and also what it was costing me in my personal life. So now I try to take a more holistic approach to things in terms of understanding that even if you don't like the idea of rest and like rest sound like a fluidity, if you want to look at it as a productive tool, is that rest is what allows you to come back with a fresh mind, with a full energy, and start things instead of starting things from a point of being tired from the day before, being burnt out and all of this stuff. So the worst burnout I had, it took me months to kind of recover from it. Yeah, man. Disconnect from work, couldn't find funk, wasn't enjoying it, just like a whole thing. And I realized, all right, I can't make this happen to me again because yeah, man, it's just a net negative, you see me, bro? You're not earn, just like you say. You're not create. You don't feel good in yourself because you're not live within your purpose. You're not fun to be around. So your friend them not enjoy be around you. Your girl not enjoy around you. You lash out at people who don't deserve it because you just in a this tight up, coil up funk. And on top of it too, just from another perspective, bro, is that creativity work in harmony with life. And I said that to me and say, yo, you have to live for be creative, you see me? You have to go to the beach for say, wow, the water is so blue. You know what I mean? You have to travel for say, wow, this is a different perspective. You have to, creativity have to work in harmony with life, you see me? You can't just pull creativity for make money. It will dry up. So you have to make sure say you're pouring into yourself so that there is things to say when a client say, all right, yo, we need to sell Betty milk. There's a wealth of creativity that is bursting out because you have experienced so much things. So it's a whole harmony system.
I like that. Because we are finite beings.
True.
Like if we were infinite, we wouldn't dead.
And we wouldn't tired.
We wouldn't tired.
Yeah.
You know, so you really need to replenish and rest up.
Yeah.
I like that as well. Where you're like, yo, you have to experience life.
You have to live life.
You have to have different contact points to pull from. And you know, I was also thinking not only that you have to have contact points to pull from, you have to experience the gaps as well.
Yeah.
Because you might see, you know, this person over here so doing photography in this way, but you grew up on the farm.
Yeah.
But no one is doing photography for you know, farm animals. Yeah. So you want to ensure that, all right, I know how the farm people them work.
Yeah.
Me, you know, do it this way, that way.
But offer your unique voice.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you don't actually go out there and experience the gaps, along with experiencing just life in general, you won't be able to address those issues. You won't be able to think outside of the box because you've never been inside the box to begin with.
And boredom important too because a lot of times in boredom, the same thing that you're talking about, those answers come up. You get me? When you kind of remove distractions, when you're not, you know, filling your mind with like, all right, I'm going to watch this YouTube video. It's like your brain starts to reach out to things. It's just like, all right, I'm bored. It starts to reach out to things. And then, you know, something come to your mind. It's like, oh, yo, the idea there. Sometimes it's some lame ideas, but sometimes you have to kind of just skim the surface.
It's a matter of just exercising the muscle.
Yeah, you exercise the muscle, and then things come to you, and then it's just like, you know, like how sometimes people say, yo, I had this idea in the shower. But it's because you're somewhere where you're not being bombarded with other stimuli.
Right.
And your mind actually get an opportunity to ruminate. You know what I mean? Like that happens in boredom. So like you can actually pull something and you say no, and then you pull again and you say wait, and then the ideas start to come.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So looking at the creative scene in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right. What does it look like to you know, from your view? We were talking I think about last week. We were talking about just, you know, where the industry is, where it's going, where it's coming from. What does the landscape look like to you right now?
The landscape is really interesting. I think I was telling you over the phone that I feel like every 7 years the landscape kind of changes, because I'm a believer that the creative industry is a young people's industry.
Yeah.
Not meaning that, not saying older people can't be in there, but creativity is easier tapped into young people, as well as there's physical vibrancy to the work. You know what I mean? Like when you say, all right, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna drive, go to Ochi, I'm gonna fill my car.
Right.
That's you know what I mean?
people think
That doesn't sound like 50 to you. You
Nah.
know what I mean? And right now, what I do like about the landscape is that I think industries are understanding that that creativity is not an option. It is just a necessarily part of the process. It's not like one time it was just like, should we get photos? Should
Yeah.
we get videos? Should we be on social?
No.
I feel like we're finally past the part of that being a question.
It's
It
almost-
is a necessary part. So I feel like there are more industries that know that they need to work with creative businesses, which
Yep.
is good, because at one point it's just like Kingston, so it is slowly expanding out. So now a man can then a Clarendon, just like I say, I work on the farm.
Yep.
The farm knows that, all right, we're coming to Kingston every 2 weeks. We need to take some picture of them watermelon, yeah, so we can make sure. So that's really good to see. So I feel like opportunities have expanded outside of Kingston corporate,
Yeah.
and are in more industries. What is challenging is I'm of the personal belief that we are in a recession, so I feel like the dollars are shrinking. So while people know that creativity is a necessity, it is the budgets that are being allocated
Yeah.
to kind of do these things.
Yeah, I've been seeing
them,
that as well.
Yeah, them shrinking.
The
So-
heart is there, but the budget is not.
yeah, you know what I mean? And is what I think there's like a two-way part of it now. So there was a time where it was just us people on the camera, but now you have influencers.
Yeah.
So, and I don't, this is not like a strikeout or anything against influencers, because I believe that there's a role for everybody to play. What is beneficial for these industries with influencers now is that influencers have cameras, influencers are educating themselves into creativity, and they can make content that is comparable to what you and I can create.
Right.
So a marketer now can take the money that he would have give to you to then find a person to sit down on the camera. You can go to the person who sits down in front of the camera, and they're doing the whole thing
They're doing
themselves.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, one-stop
Yeah.
shop. So they're the talent, they're the videographer, they might edit it, they might post it to them 100K followers.
Yeah.
So it is now where those dollars are now being diverted to influencer marketing more, and some production houses are getting slightly less. I want to believe that things will kind of balance out, but I think that is also part of it there. So it's almost like the same one marketing budget now, creative budget or whatever. It gets split in two, and credit to influencers, they are learning how to demand their worth.
Yeah.
So them a drag down 200K one time, you know what I mean? Doing all of it, and them a film everything in a them bedroom and post it, and everything is
Yeah.
dandy. Whereas them say, all right, Omari, Yannick, about 75K we have left.
What you can
know?
do for we?
What you can, all right, what you can do for we. And it rough, but I do, while it is rough, it's not an excuse.
Yeah.
I think part of being an entrepreneur is figuring out how to solve these problems.
Right. I would say that a part of the landscape is we who are here in it now need to be the ones to change it.
Yeah.
So seeing that we're in this this new thing, well, it's not really new now, but it's been, because it's been going on for a while, but you're balancing between influencer marketing and just regular marketing, and using creativity to bolster both.
Yeah.
It's now more about, I think, that we need to start creating creating more and telling our own stories.
Yes.
So we're not dependent upon marketing campaigns.
Yes.
And
Yes.
ads that have to be done for
Yeah.
a specific season.
Yeah.
Those will come, because Christmas, Easter, summer
Clockwork.
campaign, clockwork.
For sure.
Those things have to be done.
For sure.
But I think the direction that we should be going as creatives is to tell our own stories.
I agree.
And to be the ones to change the how people view us, and
Yeah.
not just locally but internationally.
Internationally, yeah.
You know, especially like with how we've had Paramount coming down and doing the One Love movie.
Yes.
And having a lot of Jamaican creatives on that. We've
Mm-hmm.
also seen an uptick in a lot of other series that
Yeah.
have Jamaican connection, Jamaican roots.
Mm-hmm.
Not just filming it in the States or in the UK or wherever it is that they're based, but they're
Mm-hmm.
actually coming to be a part of the local scene here and using local creatives.
Mm-hmm.
What's been your experience with that so far? If you've worked on any projects, if you can talk about any of those projects, just share a little bit about what's
Like what? Working with international.
working with international production houses,
Uh-huh.
you know, brands, companies, the works.
Yeah. Also a really great question. Working with international brands and companies is what it I think what is really important when those opportunities come around is it feels like it's like what I was saying earlier. It's like in terms of the work that I do, I feel like when these things kind of come around, it's almost like it is time to show. It is time to show. It's like at that point you're representing Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and what I mean by that is like sometimes when these people reach out to collaborate, they have a preconceived notion of what we are doing here and our level of skill and our level of intelligence.
Right.
It's not all the time people come in no way, but it is almost like when these things happen, it's just like, all right, yeah, man, I really time now for kind of show these people
Yeah.
what we represent. And I don't always, just like I said, Jamaica, I don't feel like it's just me, but I feel like how we execute this project is going to affect who else they link or just what it does for Jamaica moving forward. Meaning, like say I work with Clark's, you know what I mean? When Clark's has a good experience,
Yeah.
and somebody from Levi said, how was the experience shooting that spot in Jamaica? When they say, yeah, man, it was so good, I was really surprised. Levi said, all right, we can come to Jamaica and do some work. It might not be me, but them link with somebody else with a confidence knowing, say, all right, yo, we did work with them, and Boohoo
Yeah.
Man said, all right, the same thing. So, in terms of practicality, like what that happens is, people have also a preconceived notion of how Jamaica works, good and bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people will say you're based in Kingston and say, okay, we can just shoot this in the grill tomorrow, and it'll just be like, oh, hold on. I need you to understand that Negril is 4 hours drive away. And I need you to understand that 4 hours drive in Jamaica don't feel like 4 hours drive in Connecticut. You get me? It's just not the same wear and tear physically. So there's always kind of a process where, in the onboarding process, where you're helping them to kind of understand the landscape.
Yeah.
And understanding the strategy to go about it, which I don't always mind, because I feel like that insight is also a part of representing yourself well.
Yeah.
That you understand how a production can work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you not setting up your client for failure. So the good experiences have been where people have listened to us. Like, you know, we've worked with some brands where I have to send a very large amount of things via shipping. I have to tell them how to package it so
Right.
that customs know grab it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people listen and some people don't. The people who listen have a great time. The
Right.
people who don't, it's just like, we told you. You get me? And then there's a process where people are learning, all right, we need to listen to these guys. They actually know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then there are some people who, they never really come around, but we get the work done same way. So, and I say overall is a pleasant. I'd say overall is a good experience, because we also learn too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we learn. I got to there was a Sprite campaign that we didn't get that we got to pitch for. When we say for them budget, bro. When we say them budget, there is a three different notch of money where them man they talk about. You see me, Coca-Cola, one of the biggest companies in the world. So when you see them budget and how them break out them thing and how they would go about it, we certainly learn a whole heap of things from that. There are negative experiences where, you know, people talk down to you, and you also have to kind of learn how to articulate yourself, how to stand up for yourself, how to defend yourself. You know what I mean? People from Latin America can be really aggressive.
Really?
Yeah, man. Sometimes people from Latin America, I would say, not all, obviously not all, but you have some people from Latin America where there's kind of like this thing where, you know, them just kind of think Jamaicans don't really know what they're doing. And unfortunately, there are people in the industry who don't take themselves seriously, who do give themselves that impression. Like you tell somebody reach somewhere 9 o'clock, them I reach this at 10:30 and them smell like herb. Can't work. You know what I mean? Them thing that can't work.
It's the fact that I know exactly say that's
No,
a
man,
real thing.
I some real
thing.
things. So just like you say, I represent Jamaica. You have some people who are represent with positively, and we have some people who are represent with negatively. And the people them who represent with negatively, sometimes you can pay somebody link you and them a give you one vibe like, bro, I don't know you from Adams, but them link a man who did supposed to reach somewhere 9 o'clock, reach somewhere 10:30, smell like herb. Them need for photograph the managing director of the company who come from Brazil, and the man I say, yo dog, what happened? Me feel uncomfortable. My message head office in Brazil, I said, what's going on here? This is not okay. You know what I mean? Those things have ripple effects. So it's a whole variety. Don't know when things work out, and you can post, say, all right, yo, you work with Clarks and you work with Pepsi and you work with all of these things. You feel good, you feel nice, it leads to other things. It can be a whole different myriad of experiences, but I would say it's a net positive. We'll learn a whole lot from them, and them raise your profile, and they allow you to charge more money.
That's good. You're essentially talking about it's very important to represent yourself well.
Really important.
Represent yourself well, because you're not just representing yourself, you're representing your future. And those around us.
I have to make them know, bro, straight up. You have to make them know so them can't take you for idiots. Really, really and truly. You see me? When the man them send you some email, bro, make sure you send back your email them properly, you send them timely, you communicate, you use all your... If you did have big word in your pocket, now is the time.
Use up all the big word and be confident in them. Those are the ones that we don't know about.
Confidentiality agreement, disbursement policy, all of them things that make sure a lot of those people them come with contracts, so make sure say you know for read contract. Make sure say you read your fine line. If you need some advice, these are the time. Usage terms, all of them things. It's like now at the big leagues, so everything we did I learn. Not for such Jamaica, it's the small leagues, but it's like this is the time now where all of the experience you have must lit up and use it, because if them man they give you in perpetuity license and you don't know about it, bro, it's going to be a bad time. So now is the time.
I would say that one of the hacks that I've come to learn to use well is, you know, having a lawyer friend.
For sure.
You know, you grow up with some people around you, you rub shoulders. And you know, say him go to law school. He must know what
perpetuity.
Whatever the word the word where you stumble upon, where you don't know about in the contract, that in perpetuity clause, you need to actually read up on that, people, especially as creatives, and if you're an influencer as well. Very
apply
important
to everybody.
But you know about you don't know about these things. It's essential to business, it's essential to creativity. So you start. What I've learned to do well is to collaborate.
That's good.
With different creatives, people outside of the creative industry.
True.
You know, if it comes down to anything confidential, you know, you kind of redact the confidential stuff, but you give like a framework of what it looks like, and you have like your lawyer friend look over it. You have a shoot in the morning, but you're not feeling so hot because you had a shoot two days ago. So you link your doctor friend and be like, hey, what should I take to, you know, feel well enough to be able to go on the shoot tomorrow.
Yeah, that's so real.
You you have the social media campaign that you need to do, but you're not great as a copywriter.
Yeah.
But someone who has been working in copywriting for quite some time, because you used to work, here over here. So you start to
bounce off people.
bounce ideas off of people.
That's real.
As a matter of fact, this podcast is being recorded with collaboration with my friends.
Yeah.
So what's your experience been like, collaborating with different creatives in the industry, outside of the industry, and then, talk to me about the importance of collaboration itself.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would say generally, yeah, man, more than generally, I've had like a really good experience collaborating with other creatives, to the point where I don't even really think about it. You know what I mean? Most of the work that I achieve is team effort. You get me? I run a company with my best friend Habibi, the field marshal. He's a producer. I'm not good at producing things. You know what I mean? So from me and him start work, I was just like, bro, me no want to do that part of the work, yeah, bro. Like, I am happy if a man say, yo, a $10 coin, me rather divide the $10 coin in a half and than have to do it. You get me? So one is about knowing that, like, all right, all of the money now go in your pocket, which is okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay, because you can achieve more with collaboration. So if you did have 3 shoots and you try brush all of them by yourself, you see me? You crash halfway into the second shoot, and then you can't do shoot number 3. Yeah. But when you have a team now, you can say, all right, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say, give me 100. I go give my brethren 75 and take 25 just for find the work. You see me? Yeah. And you not even go up on the work, and the next man brush our work, and you get a food. So it's all about working together. I love collaborating with others. I love people who can communicate well, and it's really great when you find great people to work with, like in terms of building like a really good rapport. I always like to say I like to work with good attitudes more than great talents, because talent can be developed. Yeah. But like if you have a bad attitude, it's really hard to kind of get there. You get me? So I've had a good experience collaborating. Your network is really important. Yeah. You can't get nowhere if like you just have this bad rap or a terrible network. In terms of if there's challenges with collaborating, sometimes you may collaborate with people who are at different stages in their journey. So sometimes, like if I talk freely, sometimes you might collaborate with some people who kind of green. Yeah. And like, maybe they might make certain kind of mistakes or stuff like that. And you may kind of have to step in to kind of smooth over those things. We're not really too mind them thing there. It's only like, it depends on the stakes. So if so like it's a high stakes thing where you work with some people where you have a contract where if you not deliver, you're going to get sued. Yeah. Let's just make sure everybody on set knows what it might not be a set for interns. Right. But if it's like a chill thing, you don't know, maybe it's a personal project, a spec project, or it's a client you have a good rapport with. Yeah, man, rope in some interns, some people who want to kind of learn some things. We're not accepting any interns right now, guys. Please, 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 please. I don't know offense, but please, please, please. I'm not rich. You know what I mean? I'm not rich. But yeah, we have them project there. You bring in some people, you make some people get some experience and them thing there. And I'll say I work with some high talents. You know what I mean? I don't know everything. So sometimes up on set, you might be the director, somebody else is the DP. You see how them assemble them. You say, yo, brother, where you get that? It's always like a great experience. We as creatives, enough of us not working in any offices. Enough of us not see each other every day. So sometimes when you get for really trade stories and have experience or talk to like-minded people, might be on the job. So when you're up on the job and you say, boy, brother, that client there yesterday, wicked, you know what I mean? And you get the opportunity for you to talk to some people who really understand where you go through, and then you realize, it not so bad, me did just alone. it not really that bad.
Just leave it up about it.
Me did just, yeah, me did just need for vent, and I realize that it not so bad. Other people have got through it, and also like what we talk about mental health and burnout, talking about those things actually does help. It allows you to reframe your mind about what you're experiencing. So it's not like, oh, why me? Why me can't get the work? Why my clients them so terrible? Why them budget are so low? When everybody I tell you say, yo, bro, all of my budget them get cut, I say, oh, I just saw it set. And then your mindset kind of change.
Yep.
And it allows you to approach the work differently. So there's a whole wide gamut of like the benefits of collaborating. I love collaborating with other people. I love see people passionate about the work that them do. It inspire me to help fill up my cup. So yeah, man. And just like you said, people even outside of the industry, just like even like you mentioned, doctors, like I admire the work with them do so much. Like I talk to one pharmacist and like I say, so like yo, when you're sick, you just know, you can just write yourself a prescription. And you just say, I'll surprise that. Like me, I say, yo, that body, and they're just like, yeah. I say, yo, that's sick.
Yep.
So, them think they build excitement, like they say, we get excited, and them think they refuel your passion and say, yo, brother, and you just figure out different things. So collaborating is definitely a must, especially as Jamaicans, as they say, as black people. If we work together, if we figure out what we're better together. And one of the challenges is people think me rich, so sometimes people will come and try dig out my eye when I say, yo, I say, dog, I'm not rich, you know, dog. I try and make it work. So, but 9.5 out of 10 times, bro, is a joy. Yeah.
No. Well, start for wrap up now. I want to, just from my personal, memory bank.
Yeah.
How did you get into working with Protoje?
Yeah.
What's that experience been like, and where has that collaboration taken you?
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try keep that story on the part. Yeah, so how I started to work with Protoje is that my good friend, who has also been a mentor to me, Matthew McCarthy, idealist, great muralist. We went to college together at the Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts, and he's an extreme talent in what he does. And them time they did have the first camera that I owned for myself that I bought with my own money.
Don't tell me what it is, because more know that separate.
There's two, but we can't answer two of them. Yeah. So I had my camera, and I said, boy, I don't know how I'm going to make this thing work, you know. I still go to school, but I say, I know if I just record what Matty I do, it's going to make sense, you know.
Yeah.
Like I say, yo, that man I do some important things. He did like this giant mural where Popeyes in Crossroads is right now.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's no longer there, but it was this big Chronics lyric. Yeah, he did it here. And I was just like, yo, nobody now do this. Like, me need for document this, still have that footage. So, in the process of just documenting Matty, I said, dog, why you do this? I said, bro, no worry, you know. Matthew had a exhibit at the National Gallery. And them time him was working with Protoje. Protoje is a lover of art. Protoje come through to Matthew exhibit, and them did there. At the end of the exhibit, the man say, Matthew, what go on, dog? You know, sort out some edits for me and anything. And Matthew say, boy, bro, see my brother Yannick here. Him love the video and the editing thing more than me, because Matthew had started in kind of photography and that stuff, but he was moving out to be more of a muralist and a traditional artist. So he was really kind of losing that passion. Him say, boy, him love them thing here way more than me. You for work with him. And Proto just look at me and say, yo, brother, you do it? And I say, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't hear from him for like 4 months. And then one day him just pop up with one hard drive and say, yo, I have some footage. You can just figure out something with it. I was just like, all right. So him give me some stuff. 2 tours. I go up on tour with him. After just kind of building that relationship. I never believe it when him say, yo, I go up on tour. I say, because I may have skeptic. I say, anyway, until me say, yo, me get a call for go to one embassy. And I say, oh, yo, money I spend. All right, man. So it was going on tour with him. He had a creative director who was his manager at the time, or co-manager. Big up Check Authority. And Che was leaving. And like I say, as we have been discussing my journey them time there, me did I do so I was kind of just doing mostly like video and editing. So it's just like, but them time them I know photography, me know video, me know editing, me know design. And like I say, I said upon him and I said, bro, I feel like I can take care of your overall brand, but I like to be a creative director. And the man I say, yeah? It's just like, yeah man bro, I feel like I could have do it.
And the same confidence in your competence now.
Yeah man, like me did pretty confident in what I could do. Cause I was seeing what was being done.
Right.
And like me I say, not by chain, or just generally what they had access to in terms of what was being made and stuff like that. How much hoops them have to jump over for get like a song art done. Is that me I say, I know me can do that, me do that for my whole rap group, isn't me?
Right.
So it's like me I say, no man bro, me sure me can do them thing, yeah. I want to be a creative director. And I think it was maybe about like 5 or 7 months. He must say, yo, I feel like I give it a run. And then it was from there, he said, all right, bro, you can be the creative director. And yeah, it's just been like that ever since. Working with him has definitely raised my profile higher than I could ever do it on my own. I owe a lot of to what the brand I have today and the opportunities I have today to him.
Yeah.
I always big him up. We're good, same way. But me always big him up and always tell him for make sure when we go up on them platform, then big up Matthew for having the grace to pass on that opportunity to me.
Yeah.
Because I have some people who have some opportunity and I don't want to give nobody else, you know, bro, even when them don't want it.
Yeah.
You see me? Matthew pass on that opportunity to me. Big up Matthew. And, you know, Proto give me an opportunity and him believing in a certain way where, you know, him give me a bag of opportunity. He trusted me with his brand, you know, enough little experiment where I say, all right, even just the whole visualizer campaign, him allow me to go crazy with that. And, you know, that has really been able to be almost like a public resume that has allowed people to see my work before them see me, and me really I can't understate how valuable that has been, even just the experience traveling the world with him. I go some place where me can't touch foot there by myself, interact with people. He was on the RCA label for some period of time that allowed me to really have experience working with an international music label, which has raised what I know about just music overall and music business and how these things operate, as well as he allowed me to creative direct his festival twice, which has also expanded my understanding of production and entertainment and stuff like that. So even stuff outside of my immediate work that I have done, Protoje has allowed me to gain experience in even outside of the direct work that I've done. And I owe a whole lot to him and just the role that I've had working with him.
Got you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Back to the camera question now. We'll just go and do some quick fire questions, whatever come to mind. Yeah, man. That first camera you ever use?
Nikon D200.
First camera you ever buy with your own money?
Canon T2i, bought that from Katie and the Critic, who was OG's know about Critic. Buy that from Critic. Top shutter videographer from back in the day. Yeah, T2i.
Client or project that changed your perspective?
Client or project. Protoje via RCA, having to do the albums on the label.
Yeah.
That really kind of changed my thinking about a lot of things.
Biggest misconception about Jamaican creatives?
Biggest misconception about... I would say the biggest misconception about Jamaican creatives is that we lack education. I think so. I think a lot of people think that Jamaican creatives aren't intelligent or smart. That like the choice to pick up a camera or do art means that you're not street smart, brain smart or anything like that. So I feel like that is more common than anything else.
If you're not doing this, what would you do?
I feel like I'd either be like a chef, or I feel like I'd be a lawyer, or a psychologist, like an anthropologist.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really interested in people and behaviors. So I feel like anything involving that.
Yeah.
And I really like to cook. I'm not like the best at it,
Right,
but cooking is really relaxing. So I feel like I might be in that career. Yeah.
What's the best investment you've made to this day?
Oh my God, financial?
It doesn't have to be financial.
Channel Star, greatest investment. You know what? I'd say the greatest investment I've made to this day is investing in going to therapy. Mental health. Investing in your mental health pays dividends that positively affect every single thing in your life. Personal relationships, financial relationships, business relationships, down to how quickly you service your car. Like going to therapy pays out so many dividends.
Yeah.
I'd give it to that, yeah.
What's
Financial though, website.
website?
Website for sure.
I mean, if you go put in an investment on the website.
Yeah.
Actually, we're planning on doing it for this month. What's a hard truth about success that you think most people aren't ready to hear?
A hard truth about success is that success can alienate you. You can be successful and people feel that you're not as approachable.
Yeah.
I've experienced some success, and sometimes people, they make up their mind, say, I can't work with them or they can't work with me. And a lot of nice opportunities may miss out because people just feel like would have just burst them budget. So yeah, success can alienate you, so you have to be careful.
And final quick fire question, I have one more after this. What's a belief you held 5 years ago that you no longer hold on to today?
Oh my God, that's a great question. I believe I had 5 years ago that I don't have now. Wow, that's a good question. Trying to remember myself 5 years ago. What was 5 years ago? That's oh my God.
That's literally during what?
Like right before COVID. No.
By this time, would have just hit COVID would have just hit Jamaica.
COVID would have just touched. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Would have been a few months
yeah.
in it.
All right. So it was during COVID I learned this. Sorry. It is that your professional success is not your self-worth. You are more than what you do professionally.
Good.
I had to learn that. Yeah.
That's very good.
For sure.
And
that's a good question. That's
you.
really good.
Thank
5
you.
stars.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. We worked very hard on that question.
Yeah.
We've been asking all of our guests that one.
Overall, really great questions, but that one, that one really, I
Appreciate
thought nothing could make me pause. That's a good one. Really good. Yeah.
So final question now. You at a cafe, you're chilling, you're probably doing some work. A young man or a young woman comes up to you and asks, hey, I'm doing this thing. I have a camera, or I have, I do arts, or I'm a dancer. I just starting out. What would be one thing that you'd advise them on to hold on to ensure that they keep going, essentially?
Probably 2 things.
Okay.
The thing that sounds cliche but is actually true is practice is so valuable. Practice isn't just about doing the same thing, but it is learning discipline to your craft, even when it is not paying dividends. There's gonna be times where you post something, nobody not like it, keep going. There's gonna be times where you start the drawing and you hate how it looking at the beginning, see it through to the end. You have to know how to keep going. Practice is so key. So that is like the thing that people hear all the time. The thing that I would say people don't hear all the time is don't forget people. I said it earlier, but I think it's very important because a lot of these things are people-centric.
Yeah.
And I'd say learn as much as you can about people. And that's why I say I love anthropology. But it's like there's going to be so many situations where you have to understand people. You have to understand how to price things. It involves understanding people, understanding what kind of client you want. You have to understand people. You want to understand how to navigate something going wrong. You get a bag of money and things not going. It really comes down to how well you understand people. So your communication, if I say, your communication is gonna be so valuable. So be like focus on understanding people and communicating as well as possible. So if you have the practice and you have understanding of people together, I feel like if you have those two bare minimum things, the other things will start to fall into place.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, Yannick, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It was a wonderful conversation.
For sure.
I'm not gonna lie. Where can people find you? I know that you just say you're the experience, but for those who have only seen this podcast, they don't know about Yannick Reid, where can they find Yannick?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at the therapist. SOL, it's one word. It will look like a jumble of letters, but that's where you can find me. Or type Yannick Reid, I'll pop up. Website is www.yannickreid.com. That's my first name, last name. That website has all the information that you need about me, all the social medias that I'm on. You want to know about the work that I've done. Everything is on there. So I feel like those are the two places. If you find one, you can find the other. And find one, you can find everything else.
That's you.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of Coin Insights. Amazing conversation. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, I quite enjoyed it.
Great questions. Really great interview. Really
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You can check us out at Coin Digital Studios on YouTube. So please subscribe. It really helps. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. All the things I'm coming. Like, share. Do all the things. And you can check us out on all audio platforms. Well, I don't do. On all audio platforms, especially Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, right? Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music, yeah, man. All right, cool. Until next time, big up on yourself, you know what I mean?